So, how do you start a podcast?
Basically, you started the exact same way we started a podcast exactly a year ago.
Do you know what today is?
Sing it.
It's our anniversary.
Anniversary.
It's not our actually
our
anniversary. It's
anniversary.
our podcast anniversary.
Podcast anniversary.
Yes, and I'm super excited about it. I cannot believe it's been just 1 year ago that we began this fun little journey, added one additional layer to our relationship because people are already like, y'all do everything together.
We kind of do.
Don't y'all get on each other's nerves?
Yes.
Absolutely, we get on each other's
we do.
nerves. But
Yes,
we also
do.
love each other. We work really well together. And I love that we added this podcast to the mix. It's been so fun and rewarding. I always love hearing people say that they listen. Someone came up to me the other day who said they listened to the show. And it just makes me happy, makes me smile. I love getting those thoughts out there. And love spending this time with you.
As do I. Also, we appreciate the fact that y'all been letting us talk in the microphones at y'all for about a year now.
Yes.
For exactly a year now.
Can't believe it.
Literally, we started this podcast with a Valentine's Day episode.
And here we are again.
Guess what today
V-Day
is?
V-Day.
By the time you hear this, it'll be today.
V-Day. Hey. By the time y'all listen to it. And I love that because Valentine's Day is one of my favorite holidays. And we'll get more into that as we get more into the show. I know a lot of people don't like Valentine's Day. Every year that cracks me up. Like,
damn it, Shanice. I told Shanice to respond with the wrong answers. She didn't do it right. All right, so my best friend LaJulia just sent me a text with of a picture she took with Darius McCrary. I'm gonna let you finish in a minute, but this is funny. So LaJulia sent a picture to us from of her and Darius McCrary, right? That's Eddie Winslow, right? And I send a message that says, OMG, is that Carlton from Fresh Prince? Obviously joking. But Julia laughs. And then I text Shanice on the side like, hey, make sure you respond with the wrong answer like I just did. And what does she do? Responds with the right answer. See that? She still low-key did it wrong because she put Malcolm like Jamal Warner. And then I think his name is Darius McCrary. I was just like, you ruined it. Thanks a lot, Shanice. Anyway, carry on. Back to what you were saying.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Talking about stuff and things.
Yeah, I was just saying
people hate Valentine's Day and you think it's funny.
Yes, I just think it's funny how people really hate Valentine's Day and like, why would you not like chocolate and flowers and date night and cards and hugs and kisses? I mean, like, do y'all not like your significant others? Like, I really am like. Some
people don't have significant others to like.
No, I know that. And that's not what I'm saying. For single people to be like, girl, I hate Valentine's Day. Hit me up when the candy is half off. I get that. I have been there. Okay. I have been there. What I'm talking about is people who are in relationships that are like, I just don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah.
I don't celebrate it. I don't understand that because I'm like, why would you not want to have an excuse to like love up on your boo thing? Like, that's how I see it. But I'm different because I like celebrating everything. So, you know, somebody tell me it's a holiday for something and I'm like, okay, cool, bet I'm there. Also, you know, our first Valentine's Day was very special, like not in a super extravagant way, but in a sentimental way. So it's always going to hold a special place in my heart. So I love Valentine's Day. And then Valentine's Day is a week before our anniversary. So it's kind of like a pregame for anniversary. Yeah. So like we got 2 guaranteed date nights in a row because we don't really do date night like some of y'all. Like I love, some people do date nights pretty religiously. We do not. We just kick it with each other when we want to. But anyway, I said all that to say.
Say what?
This is going to be a short episode.
Yeah, it is.
And so I am going to quickly speed through what's on my timeline. And then we're going to hop into your Valentine's Day questions because this is the Valentine's episode. And so we want to get to the listener letters most importantly, first and foremost. Or
if you're wondering why we said this is going to be a short episode, we both are in master's degree school. We're both acquiring master's degrees. And that's the
y'all, grad school's stressful.
This is stressful, bro.
I think I've had like 3 or 4 panic attacks this week. Like,
oh, I had a whole one on Tuesday.
Yeah, you did.
And still had to figure out what to do about it.
Look,
because somebody wouldn't let me study.
First of all, mind your business. Don't start. But the point is, Yeah, we need to, we got homework and projects and assignments and papers and, so we got to tackle that.
And then I got to take a nap before I go to work tomorrow. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
And it's already about to be midnight. So,
yeah. Anyway, the point is we're going to attempt to make this, again, in the words of Kevin Hart, won't be before you long. So, what's on my timeline, y'all?
What is on your timeline?
Y'all, D Wade and Gabby love their child.
That's what parents are supposed to do.
People are shocked by that.
Why are people shocked by that?
I
people
don't
are stupid.
Get it. I don't get it. And the thing is, like, this is not new. We've actually been talking about this for about a year. This is not news. I think it's just because Zaya, who was formerly known as Zion, officially announced herself as Zaya and officially said, like, I would like to be referred to as she, her, hers. And D Wade went on Ellen and talked about it. And so, like, people are really flipping out. Just like forever, people been flipping out about her having her nails painted or having whatever kind of clothing on and them being okay with it, them going with her to Pride, them just loving their child. Like,
and Zaire loving his sibling.
Yeah, I don't see what the problem
is. I don't get why everybody's so.
First
of all, I was trying so hard not to get hype about this. First of all, mind your damn business.
It's not your child.
First of all, you worried about other people's kids, and half of y'all kids out here doing the dumbest things.
Exactly.
Out here flunking, disrespecting teachers, out here failing classes, drugs. Out here stealing stuff and lying about it. So yeah. Worry about your own kids first.
Also, I saw someone post this, and I absolutely love this. Someone posted something saying, like, when you were 12, you knew you liked the opposite sex. So why is it so hard to understand that someone can know that they like the same sex?
I just don't. Why is that so hard for people to understand?
Now that I don't get.
I don't get it.
And also, the thing is, like, if they're like, well, you're too young to decide something like that, you may change your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you like for them to just support and love their child through this journey, through this process, however they navigate it, however they figure it out? I honestly don't even want to stay on this story super long because I just want to send them all light and love. Super proud of how Dwayne Wade and Gabby are handling this and setting a great example for so many other people. And I hope that this helps put a dent in some of the horrific statistics about trans children and trans women, particularly trans women of color, and the suicide rates and attempted suicide rates. And, obviously you don't want to even think about that. So I just love that they are showing a good example of how to just support your child and love them and usher them through this journey. So shout out to them.
And these people, and the people that's mad about it is the ones that drink excessively, steal stuff, lie about stuff, do all kind of other sins and whatnot. But then just this kid who has nothing to do with their lives, deciding they want to identify differently as the way they were born, that's just unacceptable. The hell is wrong with y'all? Sit down somewhere. Go get a life and live yours. Get out these people's business. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Nothing. I promise you're not gonna lose money. I promise. If you go to work, you're gonna get your paycheck. So worry about your own job. Worry about your own house. Worry about what you have to do that's in front of you. Don't worry about some child that you're never gonna ever see.
What I really loved is that Dwayne Wade said, "It's now our job to go out and get information."
That's real.
And figure out as much information as we can to give our child the best opportunity to be her best self. And that's all you can do, because you don't have to know all the answers. I think a lot of times we feel like to be an ally or an advocate, we have to know all the answers. We have to, say all the right terminology, and we have to have it 100% figured out, or people be like, I just don't get it. It don't have to be for you to get, but do the research, get some information, and figure out how to support people in their journey. And that's just all you can really do.
Yeah, I don't really like throwing terminology around. People have considered me an ally. I wouldn't quite say I am. Again, there's a lot to learn about stuff like that, but I will run up on a bully.
I absolutely
will.
I really like the term supporter better.
Supporter, yeah.
I'm a supporter and I want to be that friend for whomever. But, you know, I definitely, again, you know, nobody knows what they would do in that situation. So I'm just saying kudos to them for setting a good example, hopefully, for other people. So,
catch y'all out here.
want to talk about Hair Love. Hair Love won Best Animated Short Film at the Oscars for 2020.
Shout out to athletes getting Oscars. That's a pretty dope thing.
Yeah.
Because I just learned that he was a former NFL player.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
That is.
And
you see that people can do more than one thing. People.
I think you really, so shout out to Matthew Cherry on that. And he said that Hair Love was done because he wanted more representation in animation and wanted to normalize Black hair. Let me just talk about the representation in animation real quick. I literally was just talking to one of my best friends about the lack of representation in animation when we were growing up. The fact that the first Black Disney princess was Tiana, and let's be real, about 80% of that film, she is a frog. So I'm not even going to get into the connotation of Black people being referred to as animals and her not being able to be human that whole movie. And then also before that, who did we have? We had Jasmine. We had Pocahontas, and you know that story is problematic. And right. Also Jasmine is really oddly sexualized at the end of that movie. And then we have Mulan. And so there's so many errors in that film as well, but Mulan is still lit. Okay, so the point is, there wasn't a lot of representation in animation when we were growing up, and so I loved that in this film, especially love the focus on Black hair. The story, I mean, it's just like you can't watch that and not get choked up. Like, you gotta watch it if you haven't watched it yet. Just check it out on YouTube.
If you don't, you have no soul.
Yeah, it was a beautiful story, and honestly, I want them to make that. I'm glad that it was
double entendre.
I'm glad that it was LOL. I'm glad that it was a good short film, but I really want them to make it into a full length. Can't wait to see more from them. So congrats. Speaking of Black hair,
let's talk about it.
DeAndre Arnold, right?
Right.
Was blocked from walking at his graduation.
Right.
Because he was told that his locks violate school dress codes.
So here's the biggest problem with this whole situation. Locks don't happen overnight. Anybody who knows anything about hair knows this, right? Meaning he probably had locks while he was matriculating through the high school system, right? All of a sudden, when it's time to graduate, it's a problem.
Now it's a problem.
I still haven't figured out the answer to this. Why? The biggest question is, why are white people so afraid of black hair and black skin? Y'all will swim with sharks, but you afraid of my hair.
And alligators.
And
crocodiles.
And play with jellyfish and stuff.
And lions and tigers and bears.
Lions, right.
Anyway.
But my hair is more terrifying to you. I don't understand
The cool thing about this story is he ended up going to the Oscars.
Yeah, he did.
Matthew Cherry and Gabrielle Union invited him, and he got to walk the red carpet. So,
Didn't he also get a scholarship from Ellen?
I think so. I think I heard that too.
So I'll take both of those things over a little graduation ceremony. Because the thing is, he's going to college. He can walk there, and which is a much bigger deal.
So, I just really need people to realize that when it comes to dress codes, and this goes for schools as well as workplaces, you have got to check your privilege and really examine what the purpose is of a certain code and who determines what is acceptable and what is the norm and what's professional and what's appropriate. There's so much racism behind that. So just, look a little deeper in that. Speaking of racism,
what great transitions.
So y'all know I love books.
Yeah, you do.
Y'all know I love to read. And I probably missed this story because I've been so knee deep in audiobooks lately because I'm in grad school and I have a lot going on at work. I don't have time to sit and just like flip actual pages. And so, yeah, I listen to books when I'm driving. And so that led me to audiobooks. So I missed this, but I had a great friend that mentioned this to me, and whew, I was sad to hear about my folks at Barnes & Noble.
Yikes.
Yeah, I love me some Barnes & Noble. I love Books A Million, Borders, but yeah. So Barnes & Noble, their attempt at fake diversity, they swapped the race of classic covers, so the characters on classic books. And so they called it diverse editions, and they said it was to honor Black History Month. And let me just tell you, it was a epic fail.
My guess is that there were no Black people at this table when this decision was made.
That's exactly what I said as well.
Because what is that going to do?
It's fake diversity. It's not sincere. It's not a solution. It's really...
It's like, hey, instead of highlighting Black authors and, reaching out to some of the lesser known Black authors who are trying to make a way in their career, let's just paint Shakespeare Black.
That's so funny. That's what somebody said. They said it would be great if you could publish writers of color. Like,
right. It just seems like the easier solution rather than to hire some animator who probably wasn't a person of color.
I don't get this.
To make the little boy from Lassie Black.
Look at this. Did you see this? Look.
Yeah, I definitely saw this. Like, wow.
It looks,
and it's like
it's pitiful. It really is
terrible.
It's sad. It's poorly done. And again, it's one of those things where
make sure you post this.
It's
so
like, okay, nobody. Yeah,
the one I saw was
I'll
worse.
post it on our Facebook page. But yeah, it's like nobody really thought this through. So with that being said, happy Black History Month.
right.
To everyone.
Power to the people.
And I want Black people to enjoy your history, enjoy your month. Live it up, spend some time together, explore your culture a little bit deeper. But I really right now want to speak to the white people.
Yeah.
And actually all non-Black people, but particularly white people. Why don't you take this time to learn about Black history? Because you didn't learn about it in school. Clearly. I can guarantee you that. Nobody in K through 12, unless you just had an amazing teacher that was really dope and woke, like you had Miss Frizzle, then that's different. But most people K through 12 are not teaching Black history beyond Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks. And there's so much more to it than that.
Barack Obama.
And there's so much more to their stories than the surface level stuff you get at school.
Look at this. See the Moby Dick and the Secret Garden and the Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, terrible.
So I want to ask our woke white people, or just people, even if you wouldn't consider yourself woke, but you just are curious, you want to learn, you feel like you don't have all the answers, and you just are like, hey, I'm not racist. I don't know any better. Take this time to know better. Take this time to do better. Also take this time to have those awkward conversations with your kids. I saw that on my timeline. Someone saying, hey, white parents, this is the time to talk to your kids about race and racism. And like literally, Black History Month doesn't have to be just for Black people. It needs to be for everyone. Yeah, and like I said, we don't learn enough of this stuff in K through 12. So take this time to teach yourself.
We don't learn much of anything in K through 12 if we're being honest. But whatever. Really.
So again, do some Googles. I'm not gonna tell you because there's Google is still free. But do your Googles and find a good book to read. Not at Barnes & Noble, but find books by Black authors, like, find books about race, power, privilege, and oppression, like really do some digging. I mean,
speaking of Black History Month and Google had a really cool video that they put up to celebrate Black history, basically highlighting the most searched categories that featured a lot of Black people.
Yes,
like the most searched tennis player,
so
Serena
good.
Williams, the most searched athlete overall, LeBron James, the most searched gymnast, Simone Biles, the most searched. It was just a lot of different things. And the most searched Pulitzer Prize winner, guess who that is? K. Dot, aka Kung Fu Kenny, aka Kendrick Lamar. So yeah, It's a really cool video. Just search, I think google.com/Black History or BHM or something like that. You can't miss it. It's pretty dope. Go check that out. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Same. Well, that's all I have on my timeline for you all this week. Let's hop into a brief obscure news.
Very brief. I'm gonna keep this really, really, really short and sweet, real quick. Like so short. Let me stop talking about how short it is and make it short. Yeah. So, woman tries to set boyfriend on fire after he doesn't celebrate her getting hired at Subway.
Wow.
Court docs say she sprayed him with lighter fluid and then threw lit matches at him. This says lighted. I think lit matches is a better way to say it. Yeah, this happened in not Florida, actually Arizona.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna cut Florida a break today. Police arrested a woman after she allegedly tried to light the boyfriend on fire because he would not celebrate with her after she got hired at Subway restaurant, according to court documents. Kathy Jones, 46, now faces charges of aggravated assault.
Aggravated.
Yeah, you know what I was trying to say. I almost said affricated, which would have been worse. And criminal damage. According to police report, Jones told officers she had two Smirnoff Ice. Don't even count as alcohol. And two strong mixture. Okay, there we go. So yeah, they'll sneak up on you if you like have other cocktails. Anyway, yeah. So she's being held on a $15,000 bond. The man locked her out of the home as he waited the police arrival. And that's when Jones committed the criminal damage to the door frame. So yeah. Side note, every time I'm somewhere in public and then I'm dealing with somebody who's at their job and they say, sorry, I've only been here 2 days, rather than getting mad at them for not knowing what they're doing, I'm like, hey, well, congratulations on the job, by the way.
Yeah, and when I get a new job, we celebrate.
When I got
not
my
a job, but a promotion.
We get a lot of promotions. We're kind of cool. Every time we do, we turn up pretty big. So yeah. I mean, I guess if you're in a relationship, you should celebrate with your person.
That's kind of,
because it's a thing. It should definitely be a thing. You do not want to be set on fire. Please don't set nobody on fire if your man don't want to celebrate with you.
That ain't worth it.
If your girl don't want to celebrate with you, just
leave them.
I ain't even gonna say leave them. Just go get that check, spend that check without them. You know, don't be like, oh, you wouldn't celebrate with me. Now you want to spend my money? Nah, fam. Nah, it don't work like that. The next thing. Shout out to Texas. We're going to Texas for this story. Back to our home state.
Yes.
Cry me a cockroach.
No.
Yep, I said cry me a cockroach. Have you ever been crushed by an ex? If so, the San Antonio Zoo has the perfect opportunity for you to mend that broken heart. This is Valentine's Day. San Antonio Zoo is hosting our first ever Cry Me a Cockroach event. You will be able to name a cockroach after your ex, and we will serve it up as an enrichment treat to one of our animals for only $5. If your ex was a snoozer, little typo right there. If your ex was a snake, you can even name a pre-frozen rodent after them, and we will feed it to a reptile for $25. Their certificate you will receive can be shared on your social media pages. That's pretty hilarious.
That's like a different level of bitter.
It's hilarious that this is a thing. It's like somebody at a city zoo thought this was a good idea.
I mean, but it's got.
I'm not saying it's a terrible idea because it's a very easy way to make money, and I ain't knocking nobody's hustle. Because I mean, what are they really paying for? A certificate, a digital certificate at that. So San Antonio Zoo, I ain't mad at you for getting your money. It just seems like there's a better way to spend $25 on yourself to make yourself feel better.
You know how much ice cream you could get?
You know how much ice cream you can get with $25?
How much wine you could get?
How much wine you can get with $25?
How many movies you could rent?
You know how many movies you can rent with $25? To make it $30. Let's say you do the roach and the frozen rodent. That's $30. You know what you could do with $30? Wait till the day after Valentine's Day and spend $30 on chocolate and get $60 worth of chocolate. There's so many other options. Again, I'm not knocking San Antonio Zoo for that because, I mean, again, you're selling nothing. So that's pretty dope for them. And you know what? If this makes you feel better, go for it.
Do it, yeah.
Because ultimately, we want you to feel better if this is what you got to do.
And I get that there are certain things
that don't
make all the sense that you just got to do to get over somebody. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I just hope it works for you. If it works for you, great. San Antonio made some money and you feel better. So again, I ain't knocking nothing. It's just that if it was me, I don't get it. Because, I mean, think about it. Who really wants to watch a snake eat a rat? Who wants to watch an animal eat a cockroach? But, you know, whatever. Again, I think it's extremely creative on San Antonio Zoo's part. And then How do you?
I legit could see me and my girls doing that in our 20s, just being like, die.
Yeah, and that also probably has
Insert
something to do with me
name
being in
here.
my extended 20s that I don't
Yeah.
really get the point of this. But yeah, again, if this was a project for a college class, I would have absolutely come up with this idea and got an A on it. But yeah. Notice I say my extended 20s. But anyway, yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for weird news. If you got any comments or questions about any of these stories, or you want to send me a weird story, because sometimes I have trouble finding stories that I think are weird enough. So if you got some ideas for weird stories, or you found some weird headlines, send them to me. Just hit me in the DM, THERY_C, Instagram and Twitter, or you can send them to askttrl@gmail.com. Speaking of askttrl@gmail.com.
Speaking of, if you have questions in the listener letter portion, or as I like to call it, asking for a friend, just email us at askttrl@gmail.com. That's askttrl@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We want to help you out. If you're having trouble with your relationship, we got relationship advice for you. If you got issues with your family, we can help you with that drama. If you're having some problems at work, we can help you figure that out as well. Or if you just got a random question for us, something's been on your mind, just shoot us an email, askttrl@gmail.com. So
let's get into these QTNAs.
Okie dokie. So first question is, and again, these are all centered around Valentine's Day and love. How do you know if you're in love? What does it mean to be in love?
Well, who asked this question? Did you say? Because I missed that part.
Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block. Love can mean several different things. It honestly depends on where you are in life. If you are 11 and you send us this question, love probably means the little boy threw something at you, or the little girl threw something at you. You know, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're into. If you're closer to my age, in the late 20s, you know, so I say late twice. You know, love might mean that you looking at a future with this person. You see yourself raising a family and doing the most absurd things, like spending all of your money on this person. And, you know, you get that warm, fuzzy feeling in your stomach every time you think about them or you see them. And you feel like your brain about to explode when you make physical contact. It's probably some of those things. Also, when you can literally feel your heart skip a beat, it probably has something along those lines. If you're older and you just kind of ready to settle down, if you like in your extended 20s, if you up in that age range, I don't want to call nobody old, but you know, love might just mean, you know what, tired of being alone. Is there anybody lonely? Are you lonely? So if that song like puts you in your feelings, that might be what love is too. I'm just kidding.
You're crazy.
I am.
So I'm going to say, you know, obviously, kind of like Ryan said, love is the scientific side of your emotion. So it's obviously like estrogen and testosterone, but also dopamine and serotonin,
yep.
And your endorphins. And it's like literally like you can't stop thinking about that person, and like you just want to spend time with them, and you just want to get to know them better. And it's like that whole part of it is partially infatuation, but that's kind of the love, you know, the newness. That honeymoon phase is really just because your brain and your chemicals and your endorphins and your body chemistry is just like leading you to that person. Like I remember in the beginning of our relationship, that's like, it was just like we were inseparable. That's all I could think about. And, you know, so that's what love is, or at least the beginning of it. And so how do you know you're in love? I would just have to say you can't stop thinking about that person. You want the best for them. You want to be better for them. And you want to spend time with them. And really, if you start thinking, I think about a future long term, that really kind of is leading more to love rather than just like having fun. And so that's what I would say. If you think that's how you feel, then you might be in love. Okay, Jenny from the block?
Yeah, because like even when I'm trying not to think about you, when I'm doing something completely different, for some reason you always pop into my brain. Same. And we 7 years in at this point. True. Like if you count the time we started talking and started catching them little feelings, yeah, we're over 7 years at this point. Our official anniversary is next week. But yeah.
All right.
That's pretty much how that works.
So our next
you'll feel it before you have to ask the question. Trust me.
So our next question is from Shakira. And
I see what you did there.
Shakira wants to know if we can talk about great V-Day gift ideas and what's too much when. Like basically, I guess how much you should spend versus like what's too much in terms of a V-Day gift, what you should spend when.
All right, so if you're not in a relationship, if you're not in a marriage, let's put it this way. If you're not in a marriage, you probably shouldn't buy your significant other a car for Valentine's Day. You know, that's the obvious choices. You know, let's say if you've been dating a week and a half, probably wouldn't want to buy them a laptop, even though you know they need it and you may or may not have the money to do it. Probably not buy them a laptop.
Side note, one of my students just asked me to buy them a laptop today. I was like, oh,
wow.
You really think you special.
Either that or people think I got
rich?
money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why people think I got so much money. I'm getting by. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Gotta get by.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
So
wait, I wasn't done. Also, like if you've been together 7 years like we have, a box of chocolates, flowers, cards, the simple things. While you would think they aren't enough at this level,
they're everything.
Everything.
They're everything.
More than sufficient.
I will say this. Okay, in terms of great V-Day gift ideas, I'll just tell y'all some of my favorites that we do. So every year, some of y'all may know this if you know us. Every year, I make Ryan a yearbook, and it's literally us in the whole year. And I've been doing this since we've been together. So the one that we just got for this year is our 7th one. So we have a physical history of our whole relationship, everything we've done, everything we've been through, it's so dope, y'all.
If it sounds corny,
it is.
It's because it 100%
it is.
is
We are.
corny.
Y'all should know we are.
And I love it.
And I use Shutterfly. This is not sponsored, but I do really love them. There are a lot of companies where you could get photo books. But yeah, I really love doing that because I feel like it captures our time. You know, because I mean, obviously now with technology, you take so many pictures, but rarely do you ever print them. Like this kind of puts them all in one book that we can look back at years to come. And honestly, I think about like our kids years from now will look at it and be like, oh my gosh, look at y'all. So I love that. I also love, again, not sponsored, I love MeUndies. I love having matching underwear and like being around people and they don't know. That's kind of cute.
It's hilarious. Sexy. And side note, MeUndies has some amazingly comfortable underwear.
Yes, they do. Super soft. And they have fun, cool designs as well. I also love just in terms of gifts, I love super simple things like Ryan's really good about noticing something that I like or would like, and then he'll just get it. Like, and to someone from the outside looking in, it wouldn't seem major, but to me, it's like,
that's
oh my
such
gosh.
a practical gift. Why would you just get her that? You know she needs that. That's boring.
It's sweet,
right?
It's really sweet.
It's kind of like for me, like I think we already talked about love languages and stuff, but I think I guess love language will be providing. It's like, I know you need X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna make that happen for you. I noticed that you don't have and could very well use X, Y, and Z. I'm finna come leave the house and come back with X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. So that's some ideas. Obviously, chocolates and candy and chocolate covered strawberries, can't go wrong there. And as much as I love the super expensive ones, they got them at Walmart, y'all. Like you really don't have to spend a whole lot of money and they're still good. Like and the same thing with flowers. Like, yes, you can order the most expensive flowers from those expensive companies, you know who they are, or you can go to freaking Whole Foods. Like you can go to a local grocery store and get some flowers that are just as nice, if not nicer and fresher. Like you can go to the farmer's market. Like there's ways to do stuff without spending a lot of money. Also, like here's a little pro tip. Also, I love, you can just write a long letter in an email for free.
Yeah, totally free.
Because we don't take time to tell people how we feel about them. So you can handwrite a letter, you can, do a digital card, or you can do like a really long ass email and just like hit send. So that's something they can keep, and that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So those are just a few gift ideas. We talked about what's too much when, but just kind of gauge it based off of the level of the relationship.
The cool thing about Tara is like we can just have a nice lunch for Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, I love it. Give me some
sushi. I
will
run up in Walgreens or Walmart or any of the marts and come out with all of the discounted chocolate because she loves turtles, just like everybody hates Chris Mama. Run up in there and get a big box of turtles for half off, and she's gonna appreciate it just as much. Also, because I didn't spend a fortune on it.
Yeah, I honestly, this is gonna sound weird, but I don't like ridiculously expensive gifts.
She does not. It's weird, but I love it.
Like, I like nice things, but I feel like if you're going to spend that kind of money, I would rather you spend it on an experience that we can enjoy together, or, like a trip or something. Like, I'm just not for like flashy stuff, because I feel like that stuff is for other people and not for me. It's for you to feel like, oh, I want people to know that I spent this money on you. I don't like that. So maybe when we get rich, that'll just be the norm. But like, yeah, I don't like.
When we get rich, we're not rich yet, people.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, oh, you could have paid a bill. Like, I don't like that. All right, so our next question is from Hillary. Hillary wants to know, what do you think about one night stands for V-Day?
Well, one night stands for V-Day. Here's the deal. This is not me telling you to go out and have a one night stand, but I'm also not going to tell you not to. You know, from a religious standpoint, nobody's perfect. That part is, that's like the first aspect of organized religion, is that nobody's going to be perfect except your deity of choice in most cases. So that doesn't mean just like go completely wild. However, do what makes you happy. I feel like love thy neighbor is more important than keeping all the other sins away. Which, I don't really know where I'm going with this. But
I don't either. I'm gonna take over.
Wait. Here's the deal. Understand the risks of one night stands, all of them. The physical ones, the scientific, the biological ones, the immediate, all the risks. Understand all the risks. And then I say, if that's something that y'all both want, go for it.
I'm gonna say don't do it, because a normal one night stand is like, that's your business. If that's what you want to do, whatever. But a V-Day one night stand carries so much more weight and pressure that you don't even think about or realize.
The sociological risks.
Yes. And the thing is, like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, you may feel like, oh, I don't care that it's Valentine's Day. You care. And even if you don't, the other person might. And it just really can go really wrong really quickly. So I just personally would say maybe don't. I'm not going to disagree with that. But yet I'm also not going to retract what I said. Here's the deal. People going to bang if they want to bang. That's true. I mean, yeah, we can't stop you from, any of that. But the point is, I personally would say, if you're asking our opinion, which you are, don't, because of the fact that it carries so much more weight on that day. People pretend like that day doesn't matter and then actually really, really care about that day. So I would say don't. And so our last two questions go really hand in hand. So first one is from Eddie Winslow, and Eddie wants to know what are great I did. What are great date ideas for V-Day? So we talked about great gift ideas. What are great date ideas? So I will start and say my favorite is, and y'all know this, I'm simple. My favorite is just like us going to our favorite restaurant. Like, I'm really big on nostalgia and sentimental moments and like repetition and history, and like I like,
you left out the most important thing.
What?
Good food. Yes, it's good.
I love good food. But also, like, I love the fact that it's like, oh, this is our spot, or oh, this is where we had our first date, or this is where XYZ happened. So I'm always down for just like us going to our favorite restaurant. I also like, what's another great date? I like I said, I love experiences. So a concert, a play, a, live.
One of our earliest dates was us going to a museum. And it was when I flew to Virginia from Dallas to see you. And you were just like, I don't know if he's going to like going to a museum. And that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Like we kind of nerded out together.
We did.
We were both really into art and history and things like that. So that was a absolutely fun day for me.
Yeah.
And real quick, the thing when I said keep the 13th open or whatever we were trying to do, whatever I was saying, whatever date that was, I missed out on getting tickets to one of the museums around here for like a specific Valentine's Day themed experience. So yeah. I did get you something else though.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Another great date idea. Y'all know we did Painting with a Twist a few months ago. Loved that. That's always fun to just do something unique. And don't discount just the like being at home date, because like one of my favorite dates is when Ryan just like cooked dinner for me, and it was like super sweet and romantic, and it like wasn't, you know, a big deal or extravagant, but it was really nice. So like you could just do something really romantic like that. You could always go to the movies. I know I'm looking forward to seeing The Photograph with my girl Issa Rae. She's so amazing. Also love Lakeith Stanfield. So super excited about that. So Valentine's Day usually has like some, you know, great rom-coms out. So you could go to the movies. What's another great date idea, babe?
Oh,
like a dinner cruise. That's fun.
That's fun. Wine tasting.
Oh, love wine.
You got
tasting.
a winery in your city or a brewery and you're like, burr, go get you a few flights. Taste all the different beers that are crafted and brewed locally. You know?
Yeah. So now our next question is from Stefan Urkel. Bad Valentine's Day dates.
Bad ones.
Bad V-Day dates.
Basically the ones where you try too hard.
Oh.
Like if y'all go out to an extremely fancy restaurant with food that one of y'all doesn't really like, you just go on because of the name of the restaurant and you want to sound like you did something fancy. You want to stunt for the gram. Stuff like that, and then you get there, and then everything's a little bit pricier than you thought it was, and then you be like, okay, so yeah, let's just try to keep the bill under X amount because you ain't bring enough money for a tip, and you end up being extremely rude to the waiter for no reason. That's just a terrible date. These are things that shouldn't happen. Again, you really probably shouldn't be in a relationship that's about spending money in front of other people. That's never a good idea.
You know, this may sound rude, but I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
I think a double date or a couples date or a group date would be a bad V-Day date.
I would agree.
Because I just want to be with you. Like, I honestly, there are a lot of times where we go on group, you know, dates, or we just go out to eat with a group of friends, or we may like have dinner with one of our couple friends. And like, that's always nice. But I feel like Valentine's Day and our anniversary and like certain special times, I just want it to be just me and you. Or you and I. You and I?
You and I together is you and me, but yeah.
I just want it to be you and me. Yeah. Me. Anyway, sorry. Grammar nerd sleepy. That's what happens. Okay. So that would be a bad date for me if it's like I just thought it was going to be us and then we end up around a bunch of people and then they changed the whole dynamic of the night.
Probably shouldn't do batting cages if one of y'all's never played baseball.
No batting cage. Honestly, yeah. There are a lot of things that could be dangerous for me. But what else would be a bad date? Definitely the one where you're trying too hard. But there is a line. You know, there's a line between like not trying enough. Like you can plan out little cute things along the way and like have everything organized and orchestrated and it not be like, oh, you're trying too hard. Like, you know, you have to just know that line. It's a fine line. That's all I can really think of as far as bad date ideas. Like for the most part, I can only think of good ones because I haven't had a whole lot of bad dates.
Yeah, if I showed up to the house with pizza and some roses.
Oh, I just thought of one.
What?
A bad date would be when the guy is like dressed bummy and I'm like dressed cute.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Got
like
dolled up, makeup, hair, nails did, everything did.
And he looked like we going to the store at midnight.
I was gonna name a different restaurant, and then you said going to the store. Yeah, that's rough.
Like, yeah, like, yeah, that would be annoying. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
that's all I can think of.
I think that would be terrible. But yeah, so again, you really just got to know the person, pay attention to the person, and just try to have fun. Just try to make some memories. Don't try to stunt for the gram. Don't try to stunt for TikTok. Don't try to stunt for Snapchat. Because at the end of the day, the relationship is the two of you. or 3 if you're into that.
Not
not the world.
Mess, not the
I be trying to be inclusive. You know?
Yeah, you're so sweet. Okay, so I think that's all we have in terms of our Valentine's Day questions. There are a couple that were just about love, but I'll save those for later because you can talk about love any day. So thanks so much for sending in questions. You know who you are. You guys are awesome. And email us at askttrl@gmail.com if you want to send a question. We just might read it on the air. You never know. We might get to it, or we might say, I ain't reading that. That's crazy. Just kidding. Okay.
I mean, we'll probably still respond if we do, but
yeah, I'm just kidding. Okay, so now let's get to our love life advice of the week. Just a quick little tip for you all. And I don't want to get super sentimental, but I'm gonna get a little sentimental and say cherish your loved ones while you still have them.
Oh yeah, that's real.
Like, tomorrow is not a promise for any of us. Honestly, quite often I think about Vanessa Bryant and Lauren London, and I'm just like, whew, I cannot even finish that sentence.
Yeah, it's rough.
I can't imagine. Like, I don't want to think about it. But, like, you know, life is just too short. Like, life is too short to be with somebody that makes you miserable, but also life is too short to take for granted that person that you love that makes you happy. So if you have someone amazing, you know, spend some time with them, shoot them a text, leave a Post-it in their car, like hug them, hold hands, like kiss. Like, I mean, like act like you love that person. Tell them you love them. Like, I just think that too often people go through the motions and don't really value what they have. And I'm obviously not saying that Vanessa or Lauren did that. I'm just saying, man, you know, those moments of watching their grief reminds you of how life is fleeting. Life is but a moment, and you just really have to be super grateful. So here on our podcast anniversary and the eve of Valentine's Day, and in a couple of minutes it really will be Valentine's Day, and a week before our anniversary, I'm going to say to you, person, I do love you. I'm super excited to marry you here soon, and I appreciate everything you do for me, and I see you, and I think you're awesome.
I think you're pretty awesome too. You're actually pretty expletive amazing, since you let me cuss on the show. Yeah, and I seriously have no idea what I would do without you. Like, I don't know where I'd be right now. You have tremendously impacted my life to the point where I literally cannot picture living without you. I am terrified of what that life would look like. But to add to your love life advice real quick before I start crying, think about not just people in the relationships, but think about family members too. You know, just because somebody's old doesn't mean that they are still going to have time. You know, call your grandparents, talk to them. Mm-hmm. That's really all they want from you. Yep. Talk to them, go sit with them, tell them what's going on in your life, even if they have no idea what Facebook means. If they don't know what your degree is about, talk to them about it anyway. You know, let them know that you see them and that they matter to you, you know, because at the end of the day, just because you're old doesn't mean you're going to keep living. Just because you got past a certain age doesn't mean you're going to continue to live forever. Even if you're young, you know, tomorrow's not promised for young people either. And a grandparent does not want to see their grandchild go away like that. So make sure you spend time with all your loved ones. Let them know that you care about them. If you still have all your grandparents or your parents or all your friends and all of that kind of stuff, be thankful for that and don't take that for granted, because not everybody can say that. Amen. You know, some people, unfortunately, 2 of our grandparents won't be at our wedding, you know? Yeah, so, and my dad and Tara's dad. These are things that we have no control over. So you have to live in these moments while you have these people and while they're able. I hate using cliches like this, but it's true. Give them their flowers while they can still smell them. Man, that's right, babe. Give me some flowers. Yeah. Flowers unto you.
Well, I'm going to say again, don't want to get super sentimental and definitely don't want to get super mushy. But yeah, that's our advice. It's just really love people and cherish them and you know, appreciate them while you have them.
Absolutely.
All right, so that wraps up this week's episode of TTRL. That's Tara Talks, Ryan Listens, and thank y'all so much, everyone who's been listening, riding with us for this last year. I can't believe it's been a year. We're super excited. Can't wait to see what 2020 has in store for us in terms of our lives, but also the podcast. And again, I can't thank you all enough for listening. Make sure that you are following us at This Is TTRL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow me at IMTCar on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can follow me on those same two platforms, maybe Snapchat. I might log back into it one day. I don't know. I've been hearing TikTok is pretty cool, so I might give that a try. Only because of Sway and Heather B.
Okay.
Sway and Heather B made it sound cool, so now I might give it a shot. Anyway, THERY_C as in manhole up. It's the Rye C. Follow me there. I might post some things that you enjoy. So yeah, tell your friends about the show. Follow both of us, or I guess both of us. I didn't say all of us, but it's only two of us.
All two of us.
Follow all two of us. Follow all two of us at This Is TTRL, Instagram and Twitter. Join like us on Facebook. We got a Facebook page, Terror Talks Ryan Listens, and tell some people about our show. If you don't like our show, tell us why you don't like it. We just want to hear from you.
Yep.
Be interactive. Say something.
I can dig it. Yeah. I love when people disagree with us and send us DMs about
right,
it.
Yeah.
Let's start the conversation.
It's great because we are literally conversationalists. It's what we do.
Indeed. So, all we want you to do is love on somebody, even if that somebody is yourself, and have a great week.
Reach out and touch.
Reach out and touch. Oh, yeah. Touch their hand. Yeah. Touch it. Hold it. Squeeze it. Hey, give back to people.
Since you can.
Oh, you know you can. I know I can.
Peace.